On my way to get my hair cut and colored. You think I should try another color? Oh, I don't know what I'm gonna come up with. I can't wait till this grows out on this side. But anyway, we shall see. Stay tuned. Squatty, you look like you're flying on a magic carpet. We're out here watching these storms coming in. Oh. Yeah, we're getting some tornadoes in Asheville. What you doing, Squatty? Squatty! Hey y'all, how are you doing? It's Barb. So, phew, it's a hot day today. I'm getting ready to go get my feet done in a little while. We decided to just cut my hair yesterday until we decide what we're going to do about my color. Because my hair takes a lot of gold and I don't want bleach, so I think we're going to figure out a high lift, another high lift for it. So I just thought I'd stop by before I went for my appointment this afternoon. It's hot out here, but it's kind of pleasant. Just sit out here. And Squatty is out here lying down, resting. So he's doing pretty good. He just likes to lay out here and rest. Yep, he likes to lay out here and rest in the sunshine. It's breezy today. It's been raining for about a week. We have a rabbit's nest up on the hill in that kind of middle area to the right of that post. So yeah, we're just sitting out here for a few minutes. But I got my hair cut, but I didn't get it colored. I just didn't fix it today. But oh well. I wanted to talk about my asthma a little bit and the history of it. I got asthma when I was 3. Plane going overhead. We live right near the airport. When I was 3, and I'm not sure if we lived in California then or Ohio. My father was in the Marines and we traveled. I think I got it in California, and then we moved to Ohio, and I was in a croup tent for a long time. And then when we moved to Pennsylvania, I was in the croup tent again. But it's just been like years of allergy shots in Bryn Mawr, because I grew up outside Philadelphia, but years of allergy shots. Just like one medication after another, nothing worked. Bronchodilators, and so finally I ended up on steroids when I was 8 because nothing would work, and I suffocated in school and missed quite a bit of school and had to repeat first grade because I was in the hospital, I think, for a couple months. I was sick with it, just nothing would help. And it caused a lot of psychological stress, because when you're in school and you can't breathe, you can't participate in things. And I was always the personality to where if you told me no, I tried even harder. So as time went on, I rode horses, and sorry, I was watching a wasp flying around. I rode horses, and I was wanting to do that competitively. And then for some reason my father made me stop riding horses. I guess he didn't want to financially pay for it. I don't know. The situation I grew up in was very stressful and abusive. You know what I mean? I'm looking back trying to figure out after these last two relationships, figuring myself out and where I'm going to go from here. Um, but yeah, like when I was little, it was very confusing because nobody really understood, like in the late 60s, um, the early and late 60s, nobody really understood asthma. And a lot of people, like, psychologically did things like, oh, it's in your head, oh, you'll grow out of it, just telling you all kinds of stuff. And you look forward to that, but it never happens. You never grow out of it. At least I didn't grow out of it. I don't even think there's such a thing as, oh, you grow out of it. I think some people just have it worse than other people. And, the people out in their planes today. Um, I, um, I went back and forth to the hospital for allergy clinic and got several, shots, injections. They used to do it on my arm. They put the drops on the different allergens in drops on your skin, and then they take a pin and just kind of go through and prick all the drops and see if you got hives, a reaction. I think now they do it on your back, but I used to have it done on my arms. Anyway, it didn't work, and I was constantly sick, constantly in and out of the hospital. Then finally they sent me to a lung doctor because the allergist said there's nothing they could do. And I still played sports. I was on the track team, and I was on, I did hockey, field hockey for a little while. I was on the lacrosse team. Like, I was athletic. I loved athletics, and then the doctors kept trying to tell me, don't run, don't, do this, don't do that. And it's like, and you just kind of shut your whole life down. And then the way I grew up was my father smoked regularly in the house. He wasn't going to quit smoking. It was his house, and he was going to do what he wanted to do. And that was a whole nother situation in itself. And he would blow smoke in my face, like cigarette smoke, and tell me it was in my head. It was just not a good situation growing up with this. Nobody explained to me what the steroids were going to do to my system over time. And I started on them when I was 8, and I weaned myself off of them in 2000. And I still have to take them. I just deal with not being able to breathe very well. Inhaling and exhaling every day, and you can't hardly breathe. It takes a lot out of you. And so then I started eating. I started eating a lot. I started, putting food under my bed at night and hiding it, and eating by myself at night. And I started gaining weight, and I was doing that as a coping mechanism because nobody helped me through the stress of the steroids, what they were going to do, and they affected me psychologically, and it affected my school. It affected how I concentrated because I couldn't concentrate. I was always agitated and moody, and didn't understand why. I was constantly hungry. As time went on, like, I would eat 2 large pizzas, a big thing of soda, and then I could down another stromboli after that. Like, part of my weight problem is what I put in my mouth, but it's also the steroids make you want carbohydrates and sugar, and it's like if you don't have it, you just, I don't know, you go crazy. I can't even explain what it's like being on those psychologically. And when I came off of them, and the swelling went down, and my buffalo hump went away, and some of the symptoms that I had for years and years and years went away, I actually couldn't believe how I lived like that. And people would think I was a difficult child, and, I was, like, put in the corner. I had trouble in school. I got in fights a lot. In school, and luckily I had a nice vice principal that helped me, because half the stuff I did my parents didn't. know that I was doing. I was just constantly getting in fights and trouble. And I got in a fight with one girl, one of those types that's preppy and thought she knew everything, and she was very mean and just, you know what I mean? Like, she wasn't a cheerleader, but she was like that type, like very, like, snobby, and I got in a fight with her one day, and I flew open the bathroom, the girls' bathroom door, and she was in there, and she started with me. And I took her, and I stuck her head in the toilet, and I flushed it. She didn't bother me anymore after that, but I was just constantly aggravated and agitated and just not happy, and just, we'd be like really depressed, because they will make you very depressed. You don't want to do anything. You want to be by yourself all the time. You can't keep up with people. You swell up, and my weight just went sky high, because I was skinny before I went on those. And my mom would just say, "Are you in the refrigerator again?" And just it was just a bad time, between like dealing with my home life and this illness, and then the medication that I had to take for the illness was very bad. Um, and when I got pregnant, the lung doctor I went to at the time, when I got ready to have my daughter, I found out later, he was actually at the hospital. He stayed with me all night. He stayed at the hospital all night to make sure I was okay. And he had left that hospital and gone to another hospital, because he was the chief of pulmonary medicine at Bryn Mawr, and then something happened and he didn't get along with the other doctors, and he went down to Lankenau, and he became the chief down there. And he came to stay with me all night until I had my daughter, to make sure that I was okay and everything was fine. So, but basically your life is just turned upside down. Most people, I don't think, stay on steroids like I have. I mean, I've been on inhaled steroids, all kinds of bronchodilators, like Advair, Combivent, Ceravent, which those are like for epidemics, but they tried them anyway because my asthma was so bad. Um, I just, I missed a lot of stuff. Like I would go camping with the Girl Scouts and have to get picked up because I couldn't, the nighttime air made me so sick I couldn't breathe. And I'd go by ambulance to the hospital, and they'd try to get me straightened out. And I missed years ago in the hospital the way they did it, because like my lung doctor would just call the emergency room, and they would set up all my lines and my epinephrine if I needed it. And I'd go to the emergency room, I'd go to the desk, they'd take me right to the back, they'd put me in the room. Like, it's not like it is today. It wasn't like it is now. And I'd get my shot of adrenaline to open me up, and I'd be getting my IVs and my lines in, and I'd be up on the floor, and I'd be in there for about a week, and I'd be sent home. But your care was like a lot faster. Like now, it just seems like it takes forever, ever. Like there's all these protocols, and you gotta wait in there, and you go in one room, and then if they don't have a place, they put you back in the waiting room, or they put you like in this triage type room, and then you wait in there until there's a regular room, and then you go in the regular exam room. And it used to be where the nurse came in and the doctor came in and they started your treatment plan right away. Now when you finally do get in the exam room, the regular exam room, you still have to wait in there and wait and wait and wait and wait, and it just drags on and drags on. And actually people, I think, stay sicker the way it is now. But it's still treated like a disease where it's in your head for some people. Like, oh, just don't think about it, or it's in your head, or it's a nervous disease, or like, I don't know. It's so frustrating to be asthmatic. Nobody's ever heard of being on steroids as long as I have, though. Been on them. And I moved up here, and I've been sick ever since I moved up here. This is like the first year that I went in one time in January, and I haven't been to the hospital or the ER since. since I've been up here, because the first 2 years, I think it was just delayed stress too from what happened with my husband. Him leaving me up here the way he did. I lost my business that I started, and I was gonna use that to try to take care of myself. I lost it because he closed our bank account because he decided he just didn't want to be with me anymore and cut me off from everything. And that was a mess, a real mess. And I was trying to get through that, and I think the years of the stress of being with him, I think just caught up to me. And now I think I'm starting to level out a little bit. But yeah. I mean, I was black and blue. My arms were all black and blue. I had a lot of videos, but I got rid of them because I closed my other channel because I wanted to say goodbye to that part of my life. You know, the part of my life where I was explaining what happened and how I felt and the process of going through all that. And maybe I should have kept it, I don't know. But I just, you know what I mean? I was at the point where you get to the point where it's like time to move on. It's time, because it just re-traumatizes you and it keeps you in that negative place. And, you know, that's not healthy. I have to move on. I have to figure out what I'm going to do when my, business is gone. And yeah, I got really sick when I lived in Georgia, and it didn't go down there the way I was hoping it would, and I can't get those years back, but sometimes you take a chance and it doesn't work out. You just gotta pick up and start over again, I guess. But having asthma, like, you miss a lot of things. You miss family get-togethers. You know what I mean? You get looked at like you just don't want to go. Like, why are you being so difficult? Oh, she's just a difficult child. Oh, she just doesn't want to do this, doesn't want to do that. It inconveniences people. Like, my father, like, on long trips to go down to North Carolina to visit his sister in Tennessee before they moved to North Carolina. He would have all the windows in the car closed and just crack the window about that much because he thought, his logic was, oh, well, it's sucking the smoke out, but it wasn't. And I was sitting in the back seat the whole time as a child, inhaling all that. And then he would smoke in the hotel room. I don't know. It just was a lot of stress and a lot of trauma and a lot of crap to go through. And part of all that is what led me in my life to where I ended up. It's not all of it, but it's part of it. And, when I'm sorry, I didn't do this till I came outside. When I was growing up, children were seen. They were not heard. You spoke when you were spoken to. You sat with manners at the table. It wasn't like it is now. You were told what to think, you were told when to speak, you were told when to go to bed, you were told when it's time to eat. If you didn't eat, you stood in the corner till everything was gone on your plate. Everything is so flip-flopped now. It feels like you're on a different planet. But yeah, everything was more controlled with kids. But yet you had more freedom in other ways because you could get on your bike and just, go to town with your friends and go out to eat or get ice cream or whatever. And we didn't eat fast food like they do now. We did some, like, if you were on break and you had a car in school, like high school, you could run to, like, Burger King or something like that with a couple friends. But it wasn't really a lifestyle like fast food. You still ate at home. Like, your mom or whoever still made food at home and you ate a meal at home. Now I don't think anybody hardly ever eats at home or cooks fresh food. It's really sad. And that's what I want to do too. I want to eat more healthy, like get my body in shape. So, like, when I was younger, I don't remember eating that much. I didn't start eating until I married my first husband, and his family was from Abruzzi, his father's family. And his mom's family, they lived in South Philly. So Sorry. This is something out here. Just tears up my lungs and stuff. But, um, so I started eating a lot of food when I met him. I mean, his mom would have like the sausage and the gravy and the meatballs, and his grandparents, when they were alive, they would have like 4-course meals. We'd go over there for lunch sometimes, and they always, like, the pasta was separate from the meat. You didn't have it on the same, like, you would have your salad last. You would have your meat, then they'd bring out the pasta. I'm trying to think. Then you would have your salad, and then for dessert, you would have like a piece of fruit or something light. Like, there was no heavy, big meal. Like, a lot of your restaurants, your Italian restaurants, especially if they're chains, it's more Americanized. It's not like they eat in Italy. And when they eat in Italy, they eat a main meal like later in the day, like in the evening, late in the evening. Or no, they eat their main meal in the afternoon to late afternoon. And then they eat a meal like maybe 8 to 10 o'clock at night. They don't eat the same as they do over here, and their food is more simple. It's not full of a lot of like the Americanized Italian food here. It's different. Um, but yeah, I'm wanting to figure out how to eat again, because I lost track of everything. I mean, my life just went completely over the cliff, and I need to get it back on track. Badly back on track. I tried carnivore, I tried keto. I think I just cut out a lot of junk food and salt and sugar. And it's amazing, even when you go on carnivore, like strict carnivore, how you realize everything people are eating now is junk. It's full of sugar and salt and stuff that's not good for you. So, yeah, it's pretty much junk. But, I'll try to come back after a while. I'm gonna sit out here with Squatty. My videos are kind of generalized. I'll have to show you my plants. Hold on, I'll show you my pumpkin plants. I have pumpkin plants. I gotta put them out across the other side of the yard, but then I think I have one watermelon plant over there that's a late starter. They're supposed to be already growing, but that was a late starter. But these are my pumpkin plants that I'm growing. Trying to get these two have been growing like weeds since we had all that rain. And then I've got my mixture in here that I used of my soil and compost and whatnot to put in there. But yeah, I hope to have some good pumpkins this year. So, anyway, did the old flipperoo on the phone. Those are my plants. I got one that's across the yard. But yeah, I'll try and come back a little later. I'm going to get ready for my appointment. And I'll probably talk about my asthma as a process, because there's quite a lot to it, and it's kind of hard. I mean, I'd be sitting here for 5 hours, and nobody has 5 hours to sit and listen to somebody. But yeah, that's what it's going to be. You know, and I'll talk about my teeth and my dental work that I have to get done, and where I'm at now, where I'm going, and the process of pulling my life together now. Because I know a lot of older people are in the same boat. They have to start over, and it's hard. Some of them give up. I'm not giving up. It just took me 3 years to get to this point. Alright guys, I'll talk to you soon.